Alright guys, today's the big day. I finally got around to testing this thing out. This is a Presto 16 quart volume, but 7 quart jars. Presto canner, cooker and canner. Got this as a gift from my in-laws, and they had it sitting around for years, just never used it. I think they had inherited it. And as a kid, my mom owned several of these things, and she would just run them in series. She'd have all of them going on the stove at one time in the summertime, just canning everything. So it's something I definitely want to do, learn to do with my own garden. But I was kind of scared to use it, so I finally got it out today and washed everything up real good. Got online, found the manual, read through it, and put it on the stove to test it out. I just put, there's nothing in it right now, just water, and I got it started heating it up, and right away it started boiling out, pushing water out around the main seal in here. It was bubbling water out around the indicator there, and it was also bubbling there. So I freaked out and I just shut it off. And I called my mom and asked her, what she thought was going on. And she's like, oh, those old seals. I mean, this thing probably hasn't been used in at least 5 years. So she's like, oh, those old seals are probably bad. They're probably rotten. But so what I did was I just let the pressure off of it and let it cool off a little bit. And I took vegetable oil per the manufacturer's instructions and just put vegetable oil all around that main seal on the inside, and just turned it back on, because she said, sometimes when it gets hot enough or the pressure gets high enough, that seal will actually seal up, and it sure enough it did. So I turned it back on, and it got to about 5 psi, and it was bubbling out. There was water bubbling out there on the indicator on that rubber ring, and that finally stopped. And about 10 psi it started pushing out a little bit of water around the seals there under the weight. That stopped, and I think it was around 5 psi. It was doing nothing, and then about 5 psi it bubbled out of water right around the front, and then it stopped again. And so I think that may have just been water that was trapped from when I washed it and cleaned it. But you can see now it's running about 14 psi. I've been trying to figure out the settings on my stove to get it good, and I had it on about a 3.5 to a 4. It holds constant at 15 psi, which is 250 degrees. And for most uses, you can just cook at 240, which is 10 psi. So now I'm just kind of slowly dialing it back to see where I'm going to hold at 10 psi. But anyway, I just want to show this to you guys. I've got big plans to use this thing now that I'm not as scared of it anymore. Should have some stuff coming in from the garden soon, and I've been buying lots of stuff that I just want to be able to pressure can up, and make little baby food and stuff. I've got, a whole slew of baby food jars here, and then we've got down here in the cabinet, we've got, well, you can't see them there behind other stuff. This is my honey cabinet, but there's some stacked back there. We got just baby food jars everywhere. So I'm going to try it. I've read some mixed reviews. Some people said absolutely don't do it. It's not worth it. They don't seal, they break, whatever. But I'm the type that has to learn learn the hard way. So I'm going to give it a shot. Worst case scenario, they don't seal up, and I've just pressure cooked some baby food, and then I'll just freeze it. So you can't really go wrong. But anyway, that's it for the pressure cooking. I suppose if I get around to actually cooking some stuff, I might put up more videos about it. But just wanted to share what I was up to.